Hi guys, MrRoflWaffles here. Call of Duty have just confirmed that Modern Warfare 2, the remaster, or remake, or re-envisioning, is coming out in October, not in November, specifically on the 28th. And this is exciting to me, not because it's gonna have zombies in it. Like, obviously, it's a Modern Warfare game, and Modern Warfare 2019 wasn't something that really captured my attention with its sort of survival offering and that sort of stuff. It wasn't really my cup of tea, so that's not why I'm excited. It's mainly because I was such a big fan of the original Modern Warfare 2. Oh my god, what a game. Dude, back then, I was too young to even be allowed to play the game. My parents wouldn't let me, so I had to get a friend of mine to give it to me for my birthday so that my parents at that point wouldn't be able to be like, oh, well, you're not allowed to have this present that your friend, like, I wanted it to be so awkward for them that they would just let me play the game. And it worked, and I just fell in love with it, man. I really, really loved that game. I'd already been a massive fan of COD. I mean, I was such a big fan of World at War, such a big fan. But then Modern Warfare 2 came along and it just elevated things. I was in clans. I was posting YouTube videos of like glitches and all sorts of things. Like, it really was the genesis of a lot of what I've turned into today, a lot of what I've become, a lot of what I've achieved in my career, things like that. And so I'm excited just to relive that energy, that feeling again. And October is really not that far away. We've got about 5 months until launch, which is crazy to think about, but it's also just really exciting. I'm nearly at the end of my LA trip that I've been on. You guys that have been following over the last couple of months will know that I've basically taken a little break from things to sort of explore some other areas in LA. I've been trying to make group content with Noah and Liam and Lex and JC and Matt and like whoever else is around in town that I can pull into some group videos, so you'll actually see some of that stuff, which is kind of Boogie Boys Z-House flavored, I suppose, and some of it's actually been shot on this very couch. So that will be coming soon, but my trip is coming to an end is the point that I'm making here, and as such, I'm gonna be getting back to my normal routine a little bit more, getting back to my normal rhythm a little bit more, and basically just trying to seize the day and take the bull by the horns and really kind of get back to making lots of content, because I've not really been posting that much in the last few months. It's really been very limited, and I want to change that. I've got a couple of ideas right now for bits and pieces that I'm really actually excited to make, like some content that I think you guys will really enjoy, maybe a slightly different flavor to some of the stuff that I've already done, but still in line with the sort of DNA of this channel, I think. And then also, I don't know, I might experiment a little bit more with some more group content back home with different groups of friends that you guys maybe haven't met before, or just all sorts of things. So I've got some ideas in the pipeline, we're figuring things out as we go. But yeah, Modern Warfare 2 is going to be, no matter whether or not the remaster, remake, re-envisioning is good or bad, it's going to be so incredibly nostalgic for so many people, not just myself. I'm sure many of you guys were in the exact same position as me, where that game, when it first came out, transformed your childhoods, and some of you guys are still young today and you maybe didn't get the chance to play it back then, and I'm just excited for you to experience some of the glory that that game contains. Like, Modern Warfare 2019 was a nostalgic remaster. Of course, I'm in LA, there's like police sirens going all over the place, or something honking in the background, I don't know what it is, but it was nostalgic for a lot of people, Modern Warfare 2019. But for me, like, I was never a massive COD 4 fan. I kind of got onto the bandwagon for COD 5, World at War, so I didn't really ever have that massive sense of, oh my god, COD 4 was my childhood. COD 4 was what I spent hours and hours and hours playing. Like, for me, it wasn't that. It was World at War and Modern Warfare 2. And after those games, it started to kind of ease off a little bit in the MP side of things, but then obviously zombies just picked up and up and up and up and up, and so that kind of swept me off my feet, and the rest is history. So Modern Warfare 2019 was like, well, it's cool. I did play a lot of COD 4, like, retrospectively or retroactively, but it's just not gonna do the things that Modern Warfare 2 did for me. Like, oh my god, dude. If we can get a pre-game lobby that looks anything like the original one, that alone is gonna make me just happy. Just a lobby. Like, huh? What? That home screen where you selected campaign, like, dude, that sort of thing, so nostalgic. Even just like the little skulls, you know, the 10th prestige skull that you could get, so nostalgic. And that's not even the gameplay. Bro, that's the menus of the game. I remember back in the day, I tried to do some kind of like hack where you could use some program on a USB to plug into your PS3 and alter some kind of game file or something so that you could change the color of your name in-game. And I remember doing that and then trying to like sell it to a friend in the like maths corridor of my school. Like, those are the reasons that I'm so excited for this game. It's not like, oh, I'm so hyped to like play a modern version of Modern Warfare 2. It's not really so much that for me. It's more, it's just gonna bring me back to the past in such a magical way. And I'm gonna get to experience all of that stuff, but with you guys. And I don't know how much content for it on the channel would make sense. Because, I'm gonna be honest, this channel confuses me sometimes, despite the fact that it's the thing that I've built brick by brick, stone by stone, myself with these two hands over the last 13 years, I still sometimes sit here and go, I don't know what would work for it, you know? Because it's become a zombies channel, but then we did Halo and it did really well. Like, really, really well. I was so happy with how all those Halo streams did. And they also seemed to kind of fit the zombies DNA in some ways, because I was like figuring out the story as we went along. Like, there was that explorative nature. But then so much of my content over the years has also become guides. So it's like, okay, I was doing guides in Modern Warfare 2 back in the day. I was actually making guides for glitches and stuff and all sorts of other bits and pieces. So that's something that is very much in my history, let's say. But then the story stuff, well, I'm much less interested in covering the Modern Warfare 2 story. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be good, don't get me wrong, but it's not like I'm going to be able to pump out content for that week on week on week all year long. Or at least I don't think so. And COD's doing the whole thing now where like everything feels unified. Everything feels unified in the story and stuff like that, so it kind of puts me in a position where, like, if we're talking about story, I think I'd rather be talking about the zombies side of things. And multiplayer is something I play a lot less now compared to what I used to in the past. I used to be really good at multiplayer. I used to be, like, in clans, trying to drop nukes all the time, like, all that sort of stuff. These days, I play a lot less MP. I'm just busy and it doesn't capture my attention the same way that it used to. But I would love to be making some content on this game in a way that I haven't felt like I've really been able to with Vanguard, because with Vanguard, it feels like the offering was zombies, and so in theory there should be stuff for me to cover, but it's not inspired me and captured my attention in the way that I hoped it would have, and that's why I've posted as little as I have. Like, I'm still covering it, don't get me wrong, and when there is new stuff, I'll check it out, but it's not been like a top priority for me, I suppose. But who knows, maybe that will change as well in the coming months when we get that Shino Numa re-envisioning and then all sorts of other bits and pieces as the year goes on. I saw a rumor that there's going to be another round-based map one season after this next round-based map comes out in like a couple weeks, I think? So that's pretty exciting. And I also have some news to share from some conversations I've had in LA, which I won't share just yet. We'll wait a little bit. Well, let me get back to the UK before I start sort of chatting about that, especially when the focus right now is on Modern Warfare 2. But I've got some updates to share, which I think you guys are gonna be pretty excited by. So we'll leave it there for now. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.